Hi guys, it's Amy with A to Z Stamping, and today I'm going to make a card using the Falling Flowers stamp set. I've always loved this stamp set. There are no sentiments with this one. It just has all these pretty flowers, leaves. There are some coordinating framelits called the May Flowers Framelits dies, which I love these. So two of them I have off right now, but this one is so much fun. Especially, you can tell I've been cutting out glimmer paper with it. So pretty, these flowers and leaves, and then these, all of these framelits, and these two right here, they cut out some of the stamped images, and I'm going to be using those today. This is a clear mount stamp set, so it's on the red rubber, and I'm going to be using this stamp here, and I'm going to be using these ones and the little pink ones. Actually, I'm going to be using a lot of them, and this one right here. All right. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to cut a couple things out with the Big Shot. So I'm first going to stamp those. I'm going to be using my Memento Tuxedo black ink because I want to use my Stampin' Blends markers. Whenever you're going to be using our Stampin' Blends, you'll want to use Memento ink, not the archival ink. The archival ink will actually, it'll bleed when you color them in, but the Memento ink won't. So I'm going to just use that. So let me grab a block here. My blocks are kind of dirty. So you will notice on this one, it's got this little piece sticking up here. That's so that when it goes with the framelit that has this, so when I go to cut it out, I'll know exactly which way, so I'm not fussing trying to figure it out. So that's actually quite nice. Let me grab that and let me get my Stampin' scrub wet and ready to go. Okay, so I will just ink this up in the Tuxedo ink. Okay, and I'm gonna stamp that right here. All right, and I'll clean that off. Okay, and let me just open this up so I can put my stamps away. And then I want to stamp two of these leaves because I want to cut out two of these. So I will ink that up so it looks like, let's see, I'll put one right here, one, and I'll put one more right here, and two. All right. Okay, so that's all I need of those. And before, let's see, I'm gonna need more of my ink in a second, but I'm gonna close it up real quick just so I can do the Big Shot stuff. So I'm gonna grab my Big Shot really quick. I figure I will just show you guys, for those who aren't super familiar with the Big Shot, right here. So I just have my Big Shot platform, the thin die adapter, a bottom cutting plate. Stick this on here, and I want to cut out this one. So remember, this side was up, so see, I lay it on there and it goes on there perfectly. So there's that. And let's see if I can cut out the leaves at the same time. These will have a little bit of a white border around them. It's meant to cut that way. So I can do these two at the same time. Carefully lay my top plate down and then run it through. Okay, so we got one. That crackling sound is totally normal. Okay, so there's my flower. Leaf number one. I'm done with that one. And let me just cut out this other leaf real quick. I don't know why I'm trying to do this one-handed, but okay, seriously. Here we go. There's leaf number two, and you can use the magnetic platform if you prefer. If you use the magnetic platform, your framelits will obviously they'll stick right to it since it's magnetic, and it's a lot easier to keep them in place. Okay, so that's it, and I can put this back. So that's how simple it is to use the Big Shot. Okay, and I'm gonna stick these back in here just so I don't lose them. I always recommend putting stuff away right away. Otherwise, stuff has a tendency to get lost. Okay. All right, so here's the three I just did. And I'm going to grab my markers. So first thing with the leaves is I'm going to color them in the light Old Navy. And I'm going to use the broad end, and I'm just going to color them in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the darker one, and I'm just going to do the the lines in the darker just to give it a little bit of dimension. So you can color first and then cut out if you prefer. It really doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong way to do it. And let's see. I'm going to grab the dark. And I'm just going to go right over these lines. Just to kind of add a little dimension, and I'm going to go down the stem. All right. So simple. I love the Stampin' blends. Okay, so there's that one. And then on the flower, I'm going to start with the light. And again, see, it has a narrow end and a broad end. I'm going to color the inside ones. This is Pink Pirouette Light. The Stampin' Blends markers, you can buy them in a set of 2, the light and the dark. There isn't a discount for buying the 2 together. They're just $4.50 each, so you can buy them one at a time as well. Okay. Then the dark, I'm going to do these outer flowers, or I guess they're not flowers, petals. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. The outer petals here. And there's no right or wrong way to color them. You do whatever you think looks good. Okay, and I'm going to do my lines here just because I like that look. And then these little dots in the middle I'm going to color in the dark. All right, so there's my flower. Pretty, right? Okay, so there's my Stampin' Blends. Okay, next thing I have is I have this oval, and I use the stitched shape framelits dies. That's these. It has ovals, squares, and circles. And if you look closely at them, it puts stitching. You see that? Isn't that cool? Around the edges. So I have an oval here, and I'm going to grab this stamp right here. I'm just going to stick a couple of these in the pink Pirouette ink. So let me grab a block here. Ink this up, and I'm going to put one right here, and I'm going to put one down here. Let's see, let's go like this. Okay. And then I'm going to grab, I'm going to close this up, this piece right here of Whisper White cardstock, and this one is cut at 5 1/4 by 4, so 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm gonna stamp on this one, the little flower right here, just in the black. Okay, and I'm just gonna kind of randomly, I go 1, 2, 4. I guess it's not that random. 5, 6, just like that. I'm gonna put 6 of them. Okay, and I'm gonna grab the dark pink Pirouette, and I'm gonna just color the center in each of them. Okay. Okay, and then the last thing with my ink is I have just another scrap piece here of Whisper White cardstock. Let me actually give you the dimension of this. So this is 3 1/2 by 3/4 of an inch. And I needed a sentiment, and there are no sentiments on the falling flower, so I'm grabbing the You Are One of a Kind from the Lovely Wishes stamp set. You are one of a kind, and I'm just gonna ink this up, and I'm gonna stamp it right here, right in the center of this one. You are one of a kind. Okay, and that's all I need that for. Okay, let me stick this back in here. So I'm done with my Memento ink. I do want to grab my pink Pirouette one more time, and I want to just sponge. I'm going to just sponge the outside of this just to give it some color. So this was a whole sponge. I like to cut my sponges apart just for easier, just so they don't take up as much room. So there we go. All right, you are one of a kind. And I think, actually, I think this might be a little bit longer than I need it to be. But we'll see how it goes when we put the card together. Okay, so now I can put the card all together. So I have some pink Pirouette cardstock, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And we're just gonna fold this in half. I love pink Pirouette. Isn't it pretty? Okay. This piece right here is gonna go right on the top. This one's gonna go right on here like so. Okay. All right, next I'm going to take this piece right here, the oval, some adhesive on the back, and that's going to go right here in the center. Well, not the center, to the left. Okay, there we go. And my leaves, I'm going to stick those on next. And I think I'm actually going to grab some, if I can find them. I know they're around here, some mini dimensionals. And I'm going to stick a couple mini dimensionals on the back of this leaf here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. I love these mini dimensionals, don't you? 1. Now, if you don't have mini dimensionals, you can take your regular dimensionals and you could cut them in half or whatever. You could maybe stick 4 in here. I think the 3 is going to work for me. So I'm just going to go with the 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay, so this one's going to go right like so. And this one is going to go right like so. Okay, then I'm going to take my flower here and I'm going to stick a couple of regular dimensionals on the back of this one. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and this guy is going to go right here. And I'm going to grab a rhinestone and put it right in the middle of my flower because I love just a little bit of bling. Come on, get it right in the middle. Right. Oh my goodness, it's sticking to me. Come on, little rhinestone. There we go. 1, 2, 3, like that. And then finally is our sentiment. And like I said, I think it's a little bit too long. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to snip it a little bit shorter. And if you need it to be totally straight, use your trimmer because this I think is a little bit crooked. Okay, and so I need to re-sponge those 2 sides since I just cut 2 of my sides off. Come on, there we go. So simple. You are one of a kind. I'm going to stick some adhesive on the back of this. And this is going to go, where do I want it? I'm going to put it right here. And I think, actually, nope, right here. And you guys, you know what? I feel like I'm going to grab real quick, just because, you know, I'm being a little bit a perfectionist. I'm going to grab this little flower one more time because I see a spot where I think a flower would look good. I'm going to grab it, ink it up, and I think I want one more right here, just like so. And let me grab this guy. I love it. There we go. And that is my card. You are one of a kind. Isn't that pretty? And here's one I did earlier. It's basically the same, a tiny bit different, just because of where I ended up placing things. But I love it. Isn't it so pretty? So here's the one I just did. And that's using the Falling Flower stamp set. This is a really fun one to own. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks, guys. Bye.